Today, I'm going to do a review on the Russell's Reserve Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey Single Barrel. And the Rare Breed Barrel Proof Rye. It's a rye night. Yep, gonna do it. For all you people out there like, what the fuck are ryes? It's a rye. It's Matt from Bourbon Banters 2020, and I am going to be doing a little tasting of the Rare Breed Barrel Proof Rye and the Russell's Reserve Kentucky Straight Rye. And you're probably looking and going, man, he really likes this. I love it. Not easy to find, but it's good. But the Rare Breed, this is bottle number 2 or 3, so it's good. So I'm going to do a little comparison. Let you know, I got some on the spec sheet here. Rye grain is a little more expensive than, corn, so it's going to cost you a little bit more. Rye bottles are going to be a little bit more expensive than, bourbon whiskeys. So with this mash bill, the Russell's Reserve is going to be a 52 rye, 36 corn, 12% malted barley. It's non-chill filter. This one's about 60 bucks. I think I got it for high $50 range, 55, 60. And I think I got this one out in Kentucky. I was out there for my niece's wedding and picked these things up. I think I probably picked both of these things up because I like rye so much. There's no age statement on the Russells, but rumor has it it's about 6 years. But with the mash bill on the Rare Breed, I'm sorry, and this one is 104 proof. The Rare Breed Rye, about $65. So if you can get it for 60, you did well. It's a blend of 4, 6, 8, and possibly 12-year rye whiskeys. So, same mash bill, 52 rye, 36 corn, 12% malted barley. And what constitutes a rye, it's got to be at least 51%. So some of them you got 95.5, you can taste the rye, but some of them are so good, like the Mastersons or the Redemption 10-year. They're great. So maybe I'll do some more ryes for you guys, for those people that are left-handed. All right, I'm left-handed. Nothing wrong with it. What else we got? Oh, and the Rare Breed Rye is going to be 112.2, so it's a little warmer. So let me just go ahead and I'll just pour me a couple glasses of these things and we'll get moving along. Gonna pour me a little glass of the Russell. And mind you, I've been doing a lot of tasting with the bourbon whiskeys in general, not a whole lot of ryes, and I think I've been neglecting those who do like ryes on these things. These are actually pretty damn good, and people are kind of afraid of ryes because they think it's going to be all peppery and dilly and just shitty in general. They're actually pretty good. They're pretty damn tasty. And I think my buddy Jeff, he likes ryes. He likes anything that tastes good. Jason is a little more particular. He likes the bourbon whiskeys. He doesn't care much for the ryes, but he'll drink them if they're good. So it's a preference, and if you want some range on your bar, get some ryes, and you can mix the ryes. They go great with old fashions. A rye old fashioned brings out the flavor, brings out the taste, but I drink them neat. And then if you need to water them down, you water them down. So here we go. Gonna do a little tasting between them both. I'll give you some notes, and I will start off with the Rare Breed. Why not? Starting off with the old Rare Breed. Let's see if I can get some notes here. It's gonna be probably pretty similar to the bourbons, but here we go on the nose. Getting some vanilla, hair bit of cinnamon, Maybe a little apple, shit, even a little orange. Man, they got some range here. It's good. I'm going for the taste. Bam, I love this one. That, you know, I need to come back to some Ryes. As soon as that first taste hit, I'm going to do it again, and I know it's going to be the same because the Russell father and son, consistent on how they make good stuff. Wild Turkey's always consistent, great priced, and you can always get those prices, you know, consistently around the year. So it's great. I'm going to do another sip here. First sip on this thing, second sip, I'm sorry. You get that vanilla with a splash of cinnamon in there. That's kind of mixed in with a little apple and a little bit of orange, I guess I'm getting on that. Feeling a little bit of that rye back there. A little bit of that rye spice, and it's so good. It's the taste from the nose is basically transitioning right to the palate. Front of the palate, bam, a blast of vanilla and cinnamon. And then you get the little bit of that rye, cinnamon, kind of combination with that little bit of orange, getting a hint of apple. I'm going to do one more, go for the see what the finish is going to be like. Here we go. Same thing, consistency from the nose to the taste. It's coating well, side to side, front to back, great coating. And I'm not getting a whole lot of rye kick on this thing. Yeah, it's a low rye blend, it's 52% rye. But as it kind of sits back there, you get a little bit of that pepper, oak, and that vanilla. It just sits back, it's great. And with that rundown, it's just like on the nose to the palate. You're gonna get that, you know, vanilla, you're gonna get that cinnamon, a little bit of that apple with a little bit of orange in there on the nose, and then bam, you taste the same exact thing on the front of the palate, and as it kind of settles in on the back, you're still getting that vanilla, you get a little bit of that oak, and then you're just enjoying it. This is actually very good. I'm gonna have to start drinking this more often. This is like a daily sipper. Like I said, ryes are a little more expensive. I think I got this thing in Kentucky for about 55, 60-ish. Out in California, it's gonna be about 60 to 65. It's a fair price, but it's good. It's consistent, and next year you're probably gonna get it for the same exact price again. That's how Wild Turkey is. I think they produce stuff for people to enjoy and keep it the same price. You know, they're solid fucking boys over there. And girls, people that work there, I think they're just solid, and they just want people to enjoy good whiskeys, good ryes, and they just keep pumping this stuff out, consistent. Yeah, one more sip I had on the rare breed. The vanilla and cinnamon and a little bit of apple. Just kind of hangs back there. It's a medium finish. It's not sticking around forever, but it's good. I'm not getting a screaming hug. It's only 112.2 proof, so it should be a little warm. Feeling a little bit of warmth, but nothing crazy. And the finish just kind of sits back there. Maybe a little bit of rye spice, but the majority of it's going to be the vanilla, cinnamon, and the little bit of oak. Fucking good. Great. It's great. Perfect. Thank you. I'm going for the, I'm going to go switch on over to the Russells here. Russells is basically the same thing. It's 104 proof. It's a single barrel rye, and I'm sure it's going to be great. First sip. Man, that is good. Only difference between the two, the mash bill is exactly the same. The rare breed is 112.2 proof, and this is 104. On the average go is going to be about 60 bucks for the same, 65 for this. Pretty comparable. I'm going to take another sip just because I was busy talking too much and didn't really give you the notes on the Russells. Here we go. And I totally skipped the nose. I'm going to start all over. Screw it. Okay, I'm going to do it again. All right, one more time. Repeat. Oh, I got to smell it. Who cares about smelling? I think you only smell it to see if it translates to the palate. Other than that, you buy booze not to smell, you buy booze to drink and have a good time. Share it with your buddies. Get like a little bit more rye on that thing, on the nose. maybe a little oak, apple, and cinnamon. So they're pretty consistent. Now again for the sip. I'm just destroying myself because I just keep sipping. It's well worth it. On the palate, you get that cinnamon, vanilla, a little bit of that caramel. Get a hair bit of lemon on there, maybe where the rare breed I got a little more of the orange. I want to do it again. Screw it. It's horrible. Terrible. Terrible. I got to do it one more time. Yeah. Thing coat's great, just like the rare breed. The Russell's coat's perfect. It's all similar. I think you still get that cinnamon, caramel, vanilla up front as it works its way back. But as it works its way back to the back of the palate, getting a hair bit of lemon on there, and it's good. But it's like a lemon orange almost, mixed in with that cinnamon. It just tastes so good, refreshing. And now I gotta, and then as I'm kind of letting it sit back for the finish, get a little of that oak, vanilla caramel, and a little bit of that lemon. Maybe a hair bit of rye. This here can go up and beat regular bourbon whiskeys. I'm going to tell you that right now, just for the flavors itself. Just because the mash bill, they think rye is going to be harsh. It's not, because this is only a 51%, 52%, rye. You do get sweetness, but you also can get that pepper. You can also get, the dill type. It depends on what rye it is, where they get it from. These, the Russell boys, they kick ass doing what they're doing because they pick the right product. I love it. So I'm going to take a sip out of each, and then I'll give you my favorite. All right, going to take a sip off the rare breed. I think the rare breed rye, at least on that drink, I'm getting a massive amount of cinnamon, apple, maybe a little brown sugar and vanilla, and and just a very hint of orange. But as it kind of sits back there, I think this is a little softer and it's a higher proof so far. The Russell's single barrel. Russell still has the cinnamon right at the beginning of the palate. Cinnamon, caramel, a little bit of vanilla in there. I'm getting no oak on that one. I'm getting a hair bit of oak on the finish on the rare breed. But what's great is get a little bit of lemon mixed in with a little bit of orange. Ah, so good. So good. All right, now I'm going to stop the thing and then I'm going to continue. Thinking I cheated, did whatever. All right, this is so damn close between the two because it's very slight, but it's also very pronounced. This I'm getting, the Russells, I'm getting a little bit of lemon orange on there. This I'm getting a little bit of orange, but the cinnamon and brown sugar kind of stands out. Do I gotta pick and choose? Yeah, I'm gonna have to, but I'm gonna rate them both. They're both in the 7s. These things are consistently great tasting. You can never go wrong with it. You never had a bad batch, never had a bad bottle, never had a bad anything. Price, fair, kick-ass, consistent. So this is one of those ones where, what I say, 7, because that's a consistent, maybe a 7.5. All day long, if you can find this, you pick it up, 60. If you got to pay a couple dollars over, it's well worth it. This one, if you get it 60, 65, and pay a couple dollars over, well worth it. Great tasting, and for all you rye people out there, all those bourbon whiskey connoisseur extravaganza, whatever, fucking jackasses, and are afraid to even taste a rye. Ryes kick ass. Ryes taste great. You can have good ryes, you can have bad ryes. I'm only going to give you some good ryes and point you in the right direction. The people that say, oh, ryes are just trying to be, bourbon whiskeys. No, I think these things here, these are kick-ass whiskeys that, I don't think they get enough spotlight. But I think they're great. I love them. And like I said, I started off with ryes. I don't know. I liked it. I'm gonna go, if I had to pick between the two, they're both great. I think it's a tie at the finish line. But if I had to pick between the two, I'm going Rare Breed, just because I think more of the cinnamon, caramel, vanilla, brown sugar taste with a hair bit of oak. I like a little oak at the end. So there you go. I had to pick one. I went Rare Breed. There you have my answer. Hey, if this was helpful, which I think it is, because I think there's a lot of people out there that are afraid of ryes and afraid to experiment. Hey, get out of your comfort zone. These two here, you can't go wrong. They're going to be great tasting. And even, I think, I want to say Russell's has a 6-year rye. And like I said, I think I've tasted it, and it's just the volume's turned down a little bit. Still great. The Rare Breed, it's going to be what you get. I'm taking my time with this thing because this is my 3rd bottle. It's that good. I want to keep it around for a little bit. And if I see another one, I'll pick it up. Just because people are afraid. They're always available because people are afraid. You got to get out of your comfort zone. Taste it, enjoy it. You're going to like it. And you're going to write me back, 2 years from now going, hey dude, I'm glad you fucking told me, because I love it. I love it. So I picked Rare Breed today. Tomorrow I'm going to pick Russell's. They're that close. So if you can find them, get them. It's a great purchase, and you can't go wrong. But I want to expand people's horizon. Get them. It's worth it. It's a fair price. You're not paying crazy, astronomical prices for these things. They're consistent, and you know what you're going to get. Hey, I'm Matt from Bourbon Banters. If you like this content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified when new content comes out. Leave me a comment. Leave the keys behind the bar. Enjoy a good bottle, either one of these things, with your friends, and enjoy. Share the notes. Share with your friends. That's the whole point. Have a good time with your buddies and make some laughs out of it. I'm Matt. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Later.